So in this video, we completed the big Indian Ocean crossing, the 2-week part. This is the 3.5-day crossing from Rodrigues Island to Mauritius. But first part of the video, just a little bit about Rodrigues Island, 10 kilometers wide, so very small, spot in the ocean, belongs to Mauritius. Full check-in required there, and then full check-in again at Mauritius. Anyway, here we are in Rodrigues, and taking the Q flag down. We'd all checked in, and the health officials has given us the all clear, so the quarantine flag comes down. Yeah, just securing the lines. So I'm mooring here at Port Mauritius, Rodrigues Island. Yeah, quite convenient actually, just on a wharf, and town is the back here. Got a laundry for the day. Wash, rinse. There's a laundry. This is the rainwater tank, so they collect rain from the roof of this warehouse, and it's perfectly good, clean water. There's a lot of rain, and even more convenient, it's right close by the boat. And first night, straight to the restaurant for a bit of a reunion dinner with our buddy boat Kismet, Kevin, Bex and Sean. And yeah, lots of war stories traded about the big Indian Ocean crossing. Good stories. Okay, Montlemont done. Back on the scooters, off to Tortoise, I think it is. Here we are at Punta de Stay, South Point. And yeah, it's beautiful here, absolutely stunning. Must be nice on a clear day. And the kite surfers are having an absolute party out there. I think like 30 knots of wind to get a kite surfer excited. I'm mooring here at Port Mauritius again. Kismet is from Seattle, Washington State, and this is the dock. We're at the docks, but they keep it fairly tidy and it's good. Happy to be just tied up, so we don't have to worry about dragging anchor out there. Normally the boats anchor sort of out there near that pole in the distance over there, but we'll stay tied up until the dock when the supply ship comes in. I think it's coming in on Thursday or Friday. All the boats have to move off the dock, but we're hoping to leave by Wednesday, so the supply ship can have its spot. And a highlight of the, sorry, excuse the picture in the background, but a highlight of Rodrigues Island is the Tortoise sanctuary, where they're doing great work to preserve and conserve the endemic tortoises of Mauritius, Seychelles and Rodrigues. And included in this Tortoise Sanctuary tour was a tour of the caves at the sanctuary. Yeah, amazing. It went 500 meters into the side of the cliffs. Really impressive. Stalactites and stalagmites, I think they call them. Viento del Mar, ready to leave Port Mauritius actually. It's checkout day. We're all ready. I'm just giving the dinghy a bit of a run. It's been on the back of the boat for over 2 weeks, so it's time to give it a run. Get it ready for Mauritius. This is Port Mauritius.
jetty, the public jetty. That's where the big ship, supply ship comes in. Port captain's office, right in there.
And as with all well-laid plans, we were ready to depart early, and the starboard motor wouldn't start. Anyway, so I fault-found it and changed starter motors, and it wouldn't go. So we left Port Maturin on one engine, on the port engine, and got out to sea, put the sails up, and the next morning I tackled the problem, and here's what I found.
So yeah, Dr. YouTube came to the rescue. This is the original starter motor, and I put the old starter motor in, so that also didn't work. So I knew it wasn't the starter motor. Anyway, what I've done now, or what I first done, was I touched that terminal to that terminal with a screwdriver, and all that done was turn the starter motor. And after Dr. YouTube gave me some advice, I touched that terminal to the solenoid terminal over there, and that engaged the Bendix, which is that little gear in there, to kick out and turn the motor, which started the engine. So now I know I can start the engine by screwdriver from there to there, and that's how I'll start the engine until I can find out what the electrical problem is further up the chain. But for now, we've got a working engine. Whew. Always something.
The table is set. It's day 2, nearly the end of day 2 at sea, on the way to Mauritius from Rodrigues. And Russell's got some potato and onions going here. We've got some mince going. We're going to do some wraps. We don't struggle too much out here. Okay, the next bit is all about the shipping traffic, and you can see the big shipping lane where to cross to get to Mauritius. Very busy, plenty ships going to Asia. On my night watch here, night 2 of our passage to Mauritius, but this ship was coming straight at me. He's not on AIS, so I turned on my radar. I could see him on the radar. He kept coming straight at me, and about 5 minutes ago he totally altered course, and he's now going in turn to go behind me and probably go around me. It was mighty kind of him, but he needs to get his AIS fixed. I just happened to look behind me and see this ship. I don't normally look around behind me, well, not too often, but yeah, good lesson to me as well. Keep an eye behind you as well. But yeah, very polite of him to go behind me. If he was going to keep coming straight at me, I would have radioed him up and asked him what his intentions are. Anyway, there he goes. Full moon night, I can see him quite clearly. And another one, I've just come on to watch at 4 in the morning, and straight onto this. Russell left me with a ship to deal with. This is there goes the alarm. It says there's a dangerous target, and this is why. It looks like he's gonna hit straight at me. So the AIS is saying there's a dangerous target, and there it is. You can see it's predicting to be 2 miles from me at its closest point. So let's trust it and see what it says. So it is the Amberjack King. It is 979 foot long. I am 38 foot long. He's 979 foot long. I'm not going to argue with him, although the rule of the sea, power gives way to sail. 1,000 foot gives way to 38 foot. It's like a train giving way to a duck crossing a railway line. Anyway, let's see how close he gets. Alright, and there he goes, in front of me, just about. And that's the moonlight. See, it's a full moon night. Oops, sorry. There you go, it's a full moon night. Camera is enhancing the light, but look at that. I can see him clear as anything, almost like daylight. Beautiful. The moonlight anyway. And I eventually got some sleep. This is my normal sleeping position on passage in the cockpit.
best part of the boat, where it's still the least noisy, it's the least motion. So I like my little sleep on the cockpit bench.
Russell keeping an eye on the shipping traffic. We've got this big Ro-Ro, which is a roll-on, roll-off car carrier. He's going to come within 1 nautical mile of us, so he's racing to get in front of our bow, to cross our bow. You can see here on the AIS, we've got a whole lot of ships. We got one up there, one there, and this one we monitoring right here next to us, and another one down the bottom corner. So it's all happening. And there he goes. Probably about 2,000 cars on there, off to either Europe or the States. Yeah, we're in the shipping lane. They're coming thick and fast. Closer and closer. Yeah, desperate measures, from too much wind to too little wind. Got the spinnaker up, but even the spinnaker is not giving us enough speed. We're right down to 11 knots of true wind. And we need to maintain about 5.5 knots to get to Mauritius in the morning, but looks like it's going to be the iron sails. Fire up the motors. Hope I'm not jinxing it, but we have some champagne sailing. Going along constantly, nice average 6 knots, and it's just the spinnaker hauling us along. What's nice about the spinnaker is it lifts the front of the boat, so we don't bang as much. The front of the boat doesn't slam down as much. The spinnaker's pulling and lifting. It's a real smooth sleigh ride. It's a full moon night out here on the Indian Ocean, 70 nautical miles from Mauritius. Look at that. Spinnaker hauling us along through the night. And we're getting there. Slowly but surely, 5.5 knots. Spinnaker pulling along at Port Louis, Mauritius. Got you in our sights. And we got it a bit wrong. So we were enjoying the spinnaker sailing so much, we went off all the way along the yellow line, way off course. That's our course, but the spinnaker was so nice, we went all along there. We couldn't come onto course with the spinnaker, it wouldn't allow us. It's too upwind. Anyway, so we ended up way off course. We've now got 20 miles, that distance there, to make up, to come back, to get onto course and down into Mauritius. So yeah, we're paying for our spinnaker, and the problem is that course we're on now is almost not into the wind, but we're about 60 degrees to the wind, so we are hammering into it. Oh, the joys. Anyway, spinnaker was good while it lasted, and then when we tried to get it down, it just wouldn't come down, so we had to pull it down the old way, just pull the whole lot down without getting the sock down. And that was also a good mud wrestle in front of the boat there. And welcome to Mauritius. There's somewhere under the wreck there. And land ho. That is one of the small islands off the top of Mauritius, a round island. It's just appeared out of the clouds. Bit of a rainy, wet arrival there in Mauritius. Here we are, coming up to Port Louis. It's a fair city, got some tallish buildings, and that's the island. Sure, heavily loaded. Water's about to go over the side. Here we are.
Port Louis Harbour. So this is the customs dock in Port Louis, tied up to Ocean Basket Restaurant. There we go. And they wouldn't give us a free lunch for visiting. And yeah, not a bad little waterfront here at Port Louis. Some restaurants along there, and all along the front waterfront over there. Quite nice. Yeah, this is the Cowdown Marina. It's not hardly a marina, it's just somewhere to tie up. Got electricity, that's a bonus.
And so we had our passage beer ashore at the waterfront. We were looking for a restaurant that would show the Currie Cup rugby final, Sharks versus Lions. Couldn't find, so we watched it on the boat, and what a game. No doubt, obviously the Sharks won, and so they are the Currie Cup champions for the year. And last but not least, just an observation, we pulled fishing lures across the entire Indian Ocean, and no fish. I think the Chinese have fished it all out, but yeah, it was not our best fishing effort.